Hi, and welcome back to Schoolhouse at Yoga Retreat YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a little bit of chair yoga. And the reason people might choose chair yoga is rehabbing for something from the waist down to work the upper body or to mildly work the lower body. Aging, people that are older, very popular with senior citizens. Also, people that are overweight. Some years ago, one of my teacher trainees devised her final exam class for a friend of hers who was overweight, and it was chair yoga, quite overweight. So if you feel you can't move that much, you can start with chair yoga. So we're going to just do some nice basic moves here today. The first thing I'd like to do is ask you to come forward a little bit and notice that this is a regular chair without arms. And it is not a yoga chair. This yoga chairs are for something else. You don't need a yoga chair. You can use one. This is actually a little more comfortable than a yoga chair. It's just a padded household chair. So the first thing I'd like to do is have us warm up the spine a little bit. So you can just move around from your waist. This is called the stomach or Sufi grind in Kundalini yoga, and one of my favorite warm-ups for almost anything that I do in the yoga realm. And so, as usual, you can have your eyes open or closed and breathe through your nose if you can. That's yogi breathing. Athletic breathing is inhale nose, exhale mouth. I see that a lot in movies and media that have yoga. That is not a yoga breathing unless you're doing it strictly as exercise. But if you want to work on the mind and expand your lung capacity and strengthen your nerves, breathe through the nose in and out. Now go the other way. Oh, and doesn't that feel good on the spine? So I'm going to close my eyes and feel the muscles in my back and my front. And just loosening all that up a little bit and becoming aware, because that's what yoga is. It's becoming aware of our mind, our body, and our breath, and working with it so that we can feel better in our everyday life and aliveness. And then coming back to center in the chair yoga, whenever you're sitting, probably not a good idea to sit back like this, right? We want to work on the concept that we always work on in yoga is grounding down, grounding into my feet, into my legs a bit, into my sit bones, and lifting up nice and tall with that line of energy from the bottom of the spine to the top. So what we're going to do now is just place our hands on our thighs and do one more Kundalini yoga move. This is nice. It's like a cat-cow, except you're sitting. You don't have to go on all fours. So as you breathe in, you move the spine and chest forward. As you breathe out, you move the belly back and the shoulders forward. Notice I'm keeping my face towards the camera, but you're welcome to gently move your head up and down. It's nice to stretch the neck and throat. And since we're doing it slowly, you're not bobbing your head, which is good. We don't want to bob the head. We want to just move that head smoothly on top of our neck and spine. So it's inhale again as you move forward with the spine, exhale as you move back. Good. Now let's come to center. As we lift the spine up, always good to keep a slight contraction here. That's very important for balance, which we'll look at in a little moment. So let's talk about strengthening our legs a little bit in chair yoga. Just lifting up the leg. I was surprised when I was working this. I was like, whoa, I'm actually working that leg, right? You're not walking on it, but as you lift and lower, you're definitely working the leg. So see how that feels and how long you can hold it up there, right? And then just do that a few times. And these moves, again, you can do much more than we're doing today, but just to show you a little bit of chair yoga. Great. All right, now another move that is really important in life and in yoga is twisting. And I find this very interesting that I read once that twisting is the first level of flexibility that we lose. So might think it's over your legs because everyone's always trying to touch their toes, right? Say they're so tight, but it's actually twisting, which if you keep doing it is really easy to do and good for so many things. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and twist around like this. You could hold on to the chair if you want to help pull you around like I'm doing, but you do want to still keep that back shoulder down. Don't hunch it up. And so both shoulders down. Again, you want to work with a straight spine and mostly twist from your lower back. I'm sorry, that's wrong. From your waistline into your upper back. Lower back is not where you want to twist from. That was a boo-boo. And then come back to center, inhale and exhale. Okay, let's do the other side. So now let's do this right. Inhale, twist from your waist. Why? We have a joint in our lower back that over the years, if you over twist, or sometimes even just move the wrong way, you can affect that SI joint in a way that doesn't feel good. So we want to keep that lower back stable and the SI joint comfortable. And then we're just going to look back because we want our neck to also twist, right? We can move our head and neck a variety of ways, and it is good to twist that neck as well. So inhale, come back to center and exhale. Let's think about that neck a little bit more. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Or inhale right, exhale left. Whatever you do, let your breath guide you in your movement, right? So inhale left, exhale right. You can keep repeating that, or inhale right, exhale left. Good. While we're sitting here, I was thinking, what could I use for a weight? Because I don't have light weights. So when I did do some chair yoga, they had light weights available. And if you've got 3 or 5 pound weights, that's great. But if you don't, I have my Buddha head. I was like, what can I hold on to? And this was maybe a little more convenient than a book. A book might work too, but I can hold on to this free and grip it, which is kind of nice for my hands. And so these are some things you can do with your chair yoga, one arm, then the other, or if you have two types of things to use, this is my Yamuna ball, you could do them at the same time. You can play a little bit with the range of motion, taking it out to the side and doing it. See, I have tight shoulders, so this range of motion, I felt in my shoulders. They were not tight when I was younger, right? So there we have it. I'm going to be in just a few days 70 years old, so our body changes. Okay, bring the arms straight out in front. And again, you can do one at a time, or you can do both, right? These are great, right? Because it's a little bit of that thing that you would do at the gym where you're going to work your muscles, work your bones, little isometric thing for the bones. Whenever your muscles are working and contracting towards the bones, it is helping to strengthen them, which is important for the older people that are doing chair yoga. But for all of us, as we get older, keep those muscles and bones as strong as we can. Okay, good. Now I'd like to turn the chair sideways for back bend. So this one I remember from years ago when my student was doing this for her friend who was obese so that she could have a yoga routine at home. And so you lean back on your home chair and look at this. I am doing a beautiful back bend, right? And then with the head, you just lengthen the neck. You don't want to just drop your head back and jam it. You just let it gently float back, right? And so if you need to tuck the chin in a little bit, that doesn't feel good on your neck, that's fine. The main thing is that we're opening our chest and stretching the front of our shoulders and extending the spine. And as I've said many times, back bends are really important for strengthening the spine. So even as we get older and maybe not as bendy, keep doing your back bends. All right, so we're doing chair yoga, so I'm not going to show you any back bends on the floor. But an example of that might be a sphinx or a fish, those lower little back bends, still strengthening the spine and the muscles of your back. Okay, so let's look at 2 more things today with our chair yoga that have come to mind for me. One is balance. So standing balance, and my head is going to get cut off, but I think I'm just going to leave it there, and you're going to watch my legs because that's important. And this is going to be tree pose. So you can have your hands like this if you're going to take your hand off the chair, but I'm going to show it with the chair. And then if you're balanced, you can bring the arms up. I've got other tree poses on the YouTube channel of Soul House, and you can find all that stuff all over the internet, probably chair yoga too. But anyway, let's come standing now. And here is my chair. And here is my balancing pose. So you start with your foot on the floor, unless you know your balance is great. And then you work up the leg. Some people say don't go to the knee. I'm not one of them. I don't think you'll hurt your knee. You may use your hand. Now, if you're not that open in your hips, don't worry about getting up here. That doesn't matter. Whoops, see how I did that? That's not good. So you want to keep your hips firm. You want to keep that lifting up that we've been doing the whole time we've been sitting straight. You still want that. Then you can experiment with whether you need the chair or not. Okay, good. And then one more that you can do, you use the chair for, and I love this, downward facing dog. So you pull the chair away and you do this. Now, this does not look like a down dog, but you are getting very much the same benefit, which is you are hinging from your hips. You are stretching your spine, pulling your belly up, strengthening it. You are stretching your shoulders, your arms, the back of your legs. And if your legs are straight here, which is a good thing to work on as we get older because we get stiff. So get your legs as straight as you can. If your legs are straight, squeeze up on these big muscles above the knee, quadriceps. And again, squeezing muscle to the bone. Good. Let's come back to our chair. Now, I said I was going to do 2 more standing ones. I'd like to do 2 more seated ones, really simple. I want to go back to the neck. This is something to do every day. It's great. You can do it standing, you can do it seated. Anyway, so that's rolling the head. But again, this is a good one. So let's drop the chin and let's remember we're not sitting back in the chair like this. Very important to keep that slight engagement in our belly. Drop the chin, roll your head. Oh, roll your head. You can do that a bunch of times and don't forget, which I'm doing now, to reverse direction. Keep breathing through your nose, yogi breath, if you can. This is a very healing and healthy way to breathe. And then bring your head back on top of your spine. Inhale, bring your shoulders up, scrunch them for a moment, which we don't want to do in most yoga poses. And exhale, bring them down. Good. Inhale, bring your left arm over, I'm mirroring you. Place it down into the right arm, just pull it over and take your head over towards your right shoulder. So you're getting a little bit more into the neck and shoulders here and back. Let's do both sides. So take the right arm over, left arm under, drop the head towards your left shoulder, press your right shoulder down. Good. Come back to center. Hold on to your chair. One more thing here that is good for remembering that we want to strengthen our center. It helps us from falling, and it just helps all our movements. All our movements start from this belly. So lean back, try to keep your back as straight as you can. Take your feet off the floor and see if you can straighten and bend the knees without caving in your chest. Here's the breath. Let's inhale, straighten, exhale, release. Inhale, straighten, exhale, release. If that's too difficult, put one leg down, inhale, straighten, exhale, release. Do that a few times on that side. Inhale, straighten, exhale, release. Good. All right, so let's take one final stretch up because I felt my belly get strong. So let's stretch it all. Again, I'm not leaning back in my chair and my feet are on the floor now. I'm a little bit back in my chair, but I'm not so far back that I can't sit up nice and tall. And finally, let's stretch our arms, our elbows, our wrists, our fingers. My hands are going to be like this. My arms are going to be straight. Again, I'm going to get cut off, but I want you to do that. So inhale, reach those arms up as straight as you can. And then exhale, bring it down, bring your palms together. And then let's take a yogi moment. Close your eyes. Can you feel the warmth in your body that you have generated doing this chair yoga? So you don't have to get too crazy in order to do yoga in a chair. There are other moves you can do, like you can advance to some of the warrior poses, right? And so just starting out and then seeing where you can go. Here's the warrior pose, for example. All right, so there's so many things in yoga we can do, whether we're in a chair or not. And I hope this gave you some ideas so that if that is where you can do yoga, you will do yoga. So thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate you. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, or anything else you'd like me to cover. I've been doing yoga about 50 years and teaching it now about 40, and I teach a variety of forms of yoga. So just reach out. We're here to serve you and hopefully help you. Yoga is there to help you be as healthy as you can in mind, body, and breath or spirit. Thank you.